Hey everybody, IronFury here, and it's such a nice day out today. I decided I'm going to use this time now to answer your questions for the 300 subscriber special. Anyway, let's begin. Alright, the first question comes from the Final Highlander. Woo, I recognize the opening music. Congrats on the subs. Do you think you'll ever grow out of gaming, or do you think your tastes will simply change? And how do you deal with the people who think that gaming is a kid's thing, and what do you make of that opinion? Very good question. Well, I've been a gamer for years, and quite honestly, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, unless I start taking myself too seriously. As far as the opinion that it's a kid's thing, that's partially true, that gaming is a kid's thing when you're dealing with kids' games. There are a lot of games that are geared towards adults, otherwise they wouldn't have a mature rating system. That's pretty much the answer I can give to that. Next question goes to Mike Jr. II. Congrats on the subs. I got a question for you. What inspires you to keep on making reviews? I mean, do you ever really get bored of it at all? Well, that's also a good question. What inspires me to do reviews is pretty much playing games. There are games that I play that I just think to myself, man, I really think I should review this. In fact, I just got a new PS2 replacement, and I did a run of Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PS2, and that's a great game, and I was considering reviewing that in the future. Next question comes from SmackJames. Hey D-Funk, I know you from the Wind Squid pub, and my question is, what got you into reviewing games in the first place? He also uses his name, Luke Barron. Well, Luke, here's another good question. I'm getting some really good questions on here. What got me into the reviewing gig was actually watching the Final Highlander when he was originally the Quickening 666 channel, as well as watching other video game reviewers such as the Urinating Tree and, the AVGN, which is obligatory, I suppose, at this point. And, yeah, I saw these people doing their own reviews, and they told me, well, they didn't tell me personally, but they said how to do them themselves. And I figured, what the fuck, I can do that too, so I did. Now on from Star Soldier 1. Congrats on hitting 300. My question is, how big is your collection? Well, I have to go through like I have to go back into the past here, because there are a lot of systems I don't have anymore for various reasons. Either they got, I never saw them again, or they were stolen. But I'm gonna go with what systems I've had, all the way to what I have now. I've owned an NES, a Sega Genesis, a Super Nintendo, an Atari Jaguar. I've owned a PlayStation 1. I have a PS2, I have the Xbox, I have the GameCube, I have the PS3. I've also owned on handheld the original Game Boy, a Game Boy Pocket, a Game Boy Color, a Game Gear. I also have the Game Boy Advanced right now. I don't have a DS yet, and I don't have the Wii or the 360. Although I do intend on getting both of those eventually, or all three of those for that matter, eventually. But, and as far as the games themselves, I have too many to name off the top of my head. But at least you can get an idea of what systems I had. Alright. Next one comes from Spence HWF. What is your favorite Nintendo console out of all of them? From Spencer. The NES. No contest. From Wow, I'm Pregnant. Yeah. Congrats, man, you rock. What's the shitty game you have ever played, and what's your favorite SNES game? I think he meant what's the shittiest I've ever played. Cheetah Man 2. Cheetah Man 2 by far. But the shittiest licensed game I've played, that's a good one. Sonic Heroes is pretty bad, but I wouldn't call it the shittiest. I couldn't tell you what a licensed game, but as far as game in general, Cheetah Men 2, and my favorite Super Nintendo game, that's another good one. I'd say probably Kirby Superstar or Super Mario All-Stars, primarily because it's the first 3 Mario games, or 4 technically, on one compilation, and I'm a sucker for compilations. Which Mega Man game do you think is the best? From Robin Foxer. 2. And I judge Mega Man games based on the music, because, well, at least the first 5, or not the first 5, the first 6, and technically 9 too. I would say Mega Man 2 primarily because of the music. Okay, now we have one going outside of gaming, from Flarby Flarb. I like that username, by the way. What music band album do you think is full of the win? Sabotage Hall of the Mountain King. Go buy that album if you're a fan of metal. From Sinister Moon, are you aware that a lot of your subs are suspended or closed accounts? And yeah. I do know that, and although I probably shouldn't be having a celebration for 300 subscribers, even though I'm at like 332 now, give or take, I'm looking at it in a different light. I'm looking at it that at least 300 people have subscribed to my channel at some point. Not that I currently, I'm not going to look at it in technicalities. I'm going to celebrate that at least 300 people have subscribed to my channel at some point. And from Cheesio, will you be doing any reviews for current generation consoles anytime soon? Maybe. I have a PS3, and I was considering doing some reviews for that, like downloadable games and stuff. I was thinking of doing one for Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. Jesus Christ, I'd try saying that 5 times fast. I was thinking of doing one for that. And, right now I need to get a new controller for my PS3, because the one I have right now is having a lot of trouble with, the D-pad. But, yeah, I was considering it. I was also considering, starting a new series with Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. But, like I said, we'll see what happens in the future. From Mighty Combat, well, how does it feel to be as popular as you are? Well, that's one good question. Feels good. I gotta say, it feels good. The second question that he had is, what do you think about him? He likes the King of Fighters. What's there not to like? From Uchiha Link 123, do you think the Resident Evil 5 chainsaw enemies make you shit your pants? No, primarily because I never played Resident Evil 5. But, yeah, I never played it, so I can't tell you. What rock bands do you like to listen to? From Lord of Armageddon. Well, I listen to a lot of different bands. Not just metal, not just rock. I listen to a lot of different everything. Going back to that album, I recommend you check out Sabotage. Kick-ass band. They're my favorite of all time. In fact, when I first started this channel, I uploaded videos from Sabotage. From 28 Story Ann. Yeah, I apologize if I'm butchering some of these names. What do you think is more important to games? Graphics or its soundtrack? Soundtrack. Although I would say neither of them are the most important. Graphics are something I can, look past. I mean, unless it's like glitchy and all that shit. I can look past graphics. If a game has a shitty soundtrack, that's kind of a put-off.